In this video, I want to show you how to manage your assignment submissions. Specifically, what filters are available for you and what are groups. Let's get started. So now that you know what an assignment is and that you can attach a file to that assignment for students to edit and submit back to you, I want to look at what the submissions look like on the teacher side and then how you can do some filtering to narrow down those submissions. Now, one thing I did notice during online learning is that some secondary teachers made assignments for each of their different periods. So they would have an assignment for period 1, an assignment for period 2, and so forth. And I want to let you know that you can make one assignment and all students submit to that same assignment, and then you can filter that assignment by period. And I'm going to show you that in this video. So let's start by just looking at submissions. Here's an assignment that I have given in the past. And when the students complete the assignment, you will see their name, you'll see the status of submitted, and you'll see the date and time in which they did submit. And then that will just continue down the list. Now, if for some reason a student contacts you and says, oh, I need to change my submission, and they don't have editing rights. We talked about in the last video that one of the submission status choices is to edit submission, and students can edit until the deadline. And let's say you didn't choose that option, but a student needs to resubmit. One thing to know is that you can literally just check the box in front of a student's name, go up here to the Actions drop down, and say Delete. And then when you click OK, it will delete that student's submission, and then they will be able to resubmit. So if I go back down here and find that student, I would be able to see that it says unsubmitted now. Now here's another important piece down here. If I scroll down to the bottom of the screen, notice it's only showing 25 student submissions at a time, but there's 84 of them total. This is a little helpful hint that you can just click this drop down and say, I want to see all 100. And then you can see all the students on one screen. Now, once again, I wanted to see that student that he changed from submitted to not submitted. If you click on any of these column headings, those are also filtered. So if I click on name, it's now going to alphabetize my list, and it's a lot easier for me to now scroll down and find that particular student and see it's not submitted at this point. Additionally, you can click on status, and it'll alphabetize them all in order, not submitted, submitted, and so forth. Or you can click on the submitted, and it'll put it in order. You could either have it from most recent down, or if I click again, it would go to the earliest submission, and then on to the most recent. Now, in addition to that, I want to look at some of these filters up here at the top. So notice there's a show option. If I click that drop down, I could say, just show me the ones that were submitted, excuse me. So it will tell me that I have 37 submissions in here, in all the students that are submitted. If I click on Saved as Draft, these are ones where the students actually were working on the assignment, but they never hit that submit button. So the assignment never came to me. So I could contact those students and say, hey, I need you to finish your homework for our class. And then over here, notice there's a filter by group. Now for me, I've created different groups within my course, and I could uncheck all participants and say, show me the submissions just for the elementary ITSs. So when I check that box, if I click anywhere outside of the box, that'll cause itslearning to actually execute that command and show me just the elementary ITSs. Now for your courses, your groups are automatically made for you for middle through high school classes. And I want to show you that. So here I am in an actual high school course. And when I go here to the filter by group, you will see that I have group 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now these groups were created when we merged your courses in itslearning and combined your regular roster, your special ed roster, your gifted roster, so you just had one group of students or one period of students. So these represent the 4 different periods for this particular class. And if I want to just see the assignments for one period, I'll uncheck all participants, check the period that I want to look at, click outside that box, click a second time outside that box so that itslearning will actually process that. And then it should be showing me just the submissions for group 3. Now let me show you where those groups exist. If I go up here to More and go to Course Groups, you will see all of the groups that represent your periods. Like I said, these are coming from the merge that we did on the back end for you. Now, these numbers literally come from just when we put them together, it automatically puts them in numeric order. But if you want to rename these, you can. If I click on group 1 here, it shows me up here the option to change group title. And then I could say, this is first period. Now it may not be my first period, but let's say for instance it says, and I save that, and then now it says first period. So now if I go back to that particular drop box, the group drop should now say first period. So that's where your groups are, and know that you can make as many groups as you want. So you could say create, and you could create a group for certain projects. If you have a group of pull-out students, you could make a group for that pull-out. I hope this helps you know how to manage your assignments in itslearning.